Good evening, everybody. We are here revisiting Train Goes Right. Still the demo. Um, I'm gonna give people a few minutes to get in here. One thing I need to start doing is start getting an intro of some sort going for my channel for these streams. Because I feel bad when some of my regular viewers get to my stream, 10 minutes after I start, and then miss my intro. And I'm like, you guys are a little clueless as to what I'm doing because I didn't give you any time to get going. So I kind of just sit here for a moment and have a chat with myself, text a Discord every now and then and say, hey, I'm doing a stream. You guys want to join? Yes, there is a Discord. It's usually not in the description of my lives, which I need to fix, but it's in the description of all my other videos, and it's on my main channel page. So if you want to join the Discord, that's where you need to look, please. Not a lot happens in the Discord, I will admit, but every now and then I see some cool posts from you guys, and it just helps me say, hey, I'm going live, or hey, does anybody want to do... I do occasionally do co-op with you guys, because I do enjoy playing these games. Anyway, I hope you all have had a good day. Don't know what any of y'all have been up to. One thing I did forget to do is grab myself a glass of water, so I will be right back. Hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. And I think that's a perfect time to start. We gave everybody a few minutes to see that I'm live. So, apparently the dev has added a bunch of stuff. I'm doing this because I want to get some interest in the game. It's a cool game. It's a really cool premise. And I don't know how to say it other than my soul has been craving a really good quality train game that's more than just driving a train on a track delivering cargo. It's a fun idea, but there's a lot of games that do it now. And I've played a few of them, and I've played some of them on the channel. I did Steam and Steel maybe a year ago was the last time I did an episode. And the reason I haven't done more is there haven't been a lot of content updates. There have been a few behind the scenes updates just making things run smoother, which I do appreciate, but there haven't been like new trains or new buildings or anything new in that manner. Anyway, about this. The dev's done some updates. Apparently he's fixed that spot where the third section of track can't be built. So, I'm sorry, I forgot to read that. I feel like an idiot here. 1 second. I meant to read that out loud. So, it said, experience building track. Stop. This is a telegram. So back in the day when they used telegrams, they didn't use periods. They used the word stop in capitals. Simple goal. Stop. complete track to the edge, stop. Good luck. Stop. So those stops used to be, they're more commonly referred to as full stops, which is saying that's the end of the sentence. So, that out of the way. There we go. So, same basic controls, WAS and D. Still easy to put that down. Did it let me kick that? I think it let me kick that. That's kind of cool. So we're just gonna, there we go. There's one tie in the right spot. There's another tie in the right spot. Yeah. So I have pretty bad insomnia. So, and I've been looking for a calm game to kind of play at night. And I think this is going to be that when it comes out. Oh, there's another sign, apparently. I'm just going to run down here and see if there's anything new. There's a track here. Another thing, apparently the dev is putting in switches. So you're still heading right, but I guess there's like a shunt yard or something that's going to come along. I love that. The little cardinal sitting on the axe handle. And if you get close, he flies off. That's amazing. And do I need one more rail tie here? I think I do. Perfect. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to knock this over. So we got kick. That's a new thing I've noticed. Come on. Really? There we go. I was a little stuck in the ground there, wasn't it? Now I'm curious if I can burn this. Oh, nope, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. Do I die? No, I just look a little bit crispy. That's... We're off to a great start here, aren't we? Also, apparently this is supposed to be easier to manipulate. Not really. It's still not super easy to manipulate. Can I pull it? Not really. Okay. I wish you could pull this off the track. I don't know why. I just... That level of being able to manipulate stuff would be cool. So we got one rail tie here. I want to drop that there. Anyway, Nemo, how you doing tonight? Well, that's interesting. I can kick that into place. There we go. There we go. And let's see if I remember how to. There we go. And oh, that was a really lousy throw, wasn't it? Okay, we need to work on that. And now we need some rail spikes. So apparently now another great thing is you can hold, yes, 2 of them. Okay, that's a little far. That was close. Aw, close. Okay, that was far again. Aw, I was close too. Apparently there is, you can chuck these down. That was like super far off. Apparently you're supposed to be able to throw these at the rails here. They do stick in place, which is cool. But apparently there is a way to throw them if you get them in that little hitbox. But apparently that's a lot harder than it looks. Ah. Let's try for that. Nope. Oh well. And I have a rail tie somewhere. Or a rail spike somewhere over here, I think. Where did it go? I'm hoping he gave us enough spikes. Well, that's interesting. So I somehow managed to pick up the barrel. And if I have a spike... No, 1 second. So if I pick up the barrel and a spike at the same time... I am stuck to the barrel. I have to put the spike down. And then I have to put the barrel down. And then I have to pick up my spike again. There's another fun one. So you are going to notice, I am going to pick out if I notice an error. Like, for people that are a little bit confused, why am I pointing out all the errors here? Because I'm hoping the devil will watch this. I'm going to send him a link to this sometime tomorrow, probably. And be like, hey, got another recording. Here's some feedback for you. It's still 3 hits for the nails. And I'm glad you don't have to be exact. How far can I be? I can be a good distance away to hit. No, I'm hitting that one. There we go. Too far. And on to later problems. Hopefully not. Hopefully this goes well. So I'm glad there is like a nudge feature. It's kind of funny that it's just the guy kicking it. There you go. I do find that funny. Oh, and like the longer you hold down space, the bigger of a kick it is too. That's cool. I used to think here 1 second. Let's grab another one of these. Okay, if I just give her a little tap compared to, yeah, no, there's a huge difference there. That's cool. There we go. See, that looks a little sketchy the way those rails are placed. Okay, so apparently these guys don't burn. Yep. So we're just gonna drag this to here. Now, can I kick this down? Is that... There we go. Nope. Is it just me or do these rails look super sketchy with how they're placed right now? They're all placed though, so... I am glad that not all rail segments look identical. It's definitely nice to see some diversity there. Because I feel like if they were all perfectly laid, it wouldn't... Like, especially for the era where apparently it's going to be like a steamish era, it just doesn't fit. Okay. Apparently you can't pick up the rail ties from one end, or from the middle. So, we're just going to have to drag it all the way over here. And then all the way over here. That is like super not even close to accurate. There we go. Oops. There we go. Now, we're in no rush today. Sometimes when I'm streaming, especially Scrap Mechanic, there's always so much to get done. In such what feels like little time. But today we're just here to relax and enjoy. There we go, there's one. There's two. Toss that over there. Now, can I put rail tie spikes everyone? So I see that he also got rid of the fact that we needed doubles here, which is okay. I'm not a huge fan of that because there is supposed to be ones there, but I mean, it makes it simpler too, I see. It would be nice to see if he gave us an option on how realistic it was. And also, the E and Q buttons overlap there. It would be nice to see like a symbol that said E to pick up, like just an E and an up arrow maybe, and Q and a down arrow. I don't know. I'm not the one who came up with the game, I'm just here to be trial and error, right? But no, I do love this game as a general, and I am glad that today we're going to be able to complete it. And I do have a thing about if there's a game that has achievements, that I get all the achievements. So this is actually one of the few demos that I've seen that has achievements, so... we're gonna see if we can get that tonight. There we go. There's another segment of rail done. Yep. Can you please pick up the barrel? There we go. It was being stubborn. Pick up my barrel of that. Thank you. Now, I know there's a bunch of rail ties here, but I'm going to see if I can make my own, because I do know there's supposed to be a mechanic for that. I don't know if it's been implemented yet, but... We got an axe in a tree, and there's only one way to find out. Now I'm curious, what happens if I... Interesting. Nope, I need that. And there's no jump. Sure. That's not a thing against the dev, that's just... Oh well. Okay. Another thing apparently is the branches do burn. So we're gonna see if we can clean this all up. All nice. I am stuck. I am stuck. I'm glad that the branches do move out of the way. Or not like, they don't move out of the way, but the visual kind of fades so you can see past it. And apparently last time they were supposed to burn, I just missed the hitbox for it. That is satisfying, I will admit. And all the leaves disappearing, that's also pretty cool. There we go. Now I do see there are still some branches here, so I'm curious why those aren't burning away. Oh, is that a separate hitchbox that I'm missing? It would be cool, actually, if, like, you could burn off the leaves. Like, steam engines... Okay, I do not know a whole bunch about steam engines. But steam engines back in the day, before we were using coal, they ran on regular wood. And especially engines that were doing less, like, hauling. They were more like a shunting type of engine, would use wood. Even once we started using coal. Because wood burned for less time than coal did. And it was a matter of they just needed to get the engine or the boiler pressure up, did some shunting, and then they didn't really need to keep the fire going for quite as long, as far as I understand. So please correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, point being, I don't know how the steam engine is going to work. I know the dev's been working on that lately, especially. But it would be cool to see that if some of this wood, if it doesn't get burned, just get some use. Yeah, I forgot that that did that. I don't see this thing splitting. Okay, we're not going to clean up all the branches here. I am not a patient person sometimes. And no, I can't. I don't think I'm missing anything. I have been reading the dev's updates. Dev has a Discord channel. I do not have it linked in the description. I thought I would, but I forgot to do that, so my apologies. So, appears like I can't do anything with this anymore, which is kind of unfortunate. Unless I need to stand down at one end. 1 second here. I hit the throw button. Anyway, the tree's cut down. We're on to the next section here. We got some rail ties to put down. There we go. Oh, it like placed exactly how... It does look like it fixed itself over here though, which is, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the track all looking perfect and uniform. I do understand it, because us building the track, and then once it's all built, it does its own magic. And I'm going to say magic computery stuff, but it looks like track, but it's a different thing that the computer program game processes and understands as this is what the train can drive on compared to the train can't drive on this. Okay, there's not one there. Where is my next tie? Here. You know, the game has a few options for some really cool achievements, other than, you know, place this many ties or place this many segments of track, right? You could have one on, like, place this many ties perfectly. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, but, like, I'd say, like, above, like, that there looks pretty darn good. Like, that I'd count as a perfect. This one, no. This one, maybe, but this one also doesn't look like it's perfectly in line. And, like, you could have different achievements for throwing spikes and landing them in the right spot from certain distances, from, like, 10 meters, or from 5 meters, or from, like, 30 meters. I don't know if it's possible from that far. And you could do the same thing for, like, rails, placing them perfectly. I don't know. These are just ideas. What do you think, Nemo? Good ideas or no? There we go. This railroad tie is not wanting to go in place. There we go. Okay. So I guess that barrel of nails is done. Sorry, I zoned out just listening to the background ambience. I forgot to see if the cart was still over here. Is it? Huh, the dev got rid of the cart. There was one tucked away over here. I actually haven't looked around yet, so we're going to do that quickly. Sorry, there's going to be a whole bunch of track building and me just running around aimlessly, curious about... Ooh. See, this log looks different than the other logs. And I want to know why. I demand to know why. But we're going to put in the rest of this track before we find out, I think. I need some more nails. There we go. No, I dropped a nail. And I just need one more. Can I hit this one from here? Nope. I am glad you don't have to stand right on top of them. And yeet the hammer over there. Okay, is this thing in there? I'm curious if the logs do burn up. Oops. I'd say that's the chunky part of the log in the fire there, wouldn't you? I don't know. The axe is way over here. Because I'm actually unsure on, like, what the plan is for getting certain things. Like, I understand we can get ballast material from, like, the boulders, or maybe from, like, fence lines like here would be an interesting thing. But, oh, there we go. Whee! I don't know where it went to, so we're gonna find out. I think it respawns by the cart. Yes, it does. Okay, so I hit that log with no problem. I don't know what's up with these. Oh well. Let's grab a new set of rail ties, shall we? Or there could be like an achievement too for like kicking rail ties 1,000 times. Which is a lot. It is significantly faster. Or maybe to kick rail ties like a certain distance. Like one rail tie, like, I don't know, 10 meters. That seems like an insane amount of distance, actually. Please don't make that a quest, because I will. Or not a quest, but an achievement. Because I will sit here. And literally that will be the sum existence of one episode, is just kicking rail ties. And I don't know if people would enjoy that very much. Also, I don't know if my spacebar would enjoy it either. But we're just gonna pull this bag over here. And one more bag of ballast. Come on. There we go. Dang it. Come on. There we go. I really hope I'm wearing steel toe shoes right now. Because I feel like that would hurt a lot. Oh wow, I kicked that like really hard, didn't I? There we go. Let's see if we can make some of these pot shots, shall we? Nope, that is in the ground. Nope, that is still in the ground. What is going... Why can I not... Olympic railroad spike throwing. I never thought that would be... Oh, I got it! Fuck yeah, pardon me. Sorry. Language, I know. Okay. We got it. I wanted to prove my point. That's all I was going for. And we put one in here. Oops. Also, apparently there's a way to knock this over. And the railroad spikes should position themselves, I think. I don't know if any of those actually went in. Hopefully I didn't break anything. We're just gonna drop these guys in a pile over here. There we go. I see somebody new popped in, so I'm gonna say hi, ask how you are. I am super small of a channel. Like, that's the one thing I do love about being this small of a channel, is I see everybody who comes in and I can say hey, individually. It doesn't actually say the name, so my apologies. If it did, I would love that, but Oh gosh. Every time it does that, I get startled a little bit. There we go. Come on, where are we? Oh, perfect. Here I was thinking I was going to have to adjust that. It breaks my heart a little bit. I say hi to somebody and I don't get a response. No, I get it. Some people just don't like talking in these things. Come on, give her a kick. Really? There we go. Beautiful. Ta-da! Now I'm going to use these ones over here, just because of where they're at. I don't have to work around them. I forgot to put ballast in. I'm getting ahead of myself there, aren't I? Well, hopefully I don't mess her up here by putting the rail on top, or the ballast on top of the rail. Excuse me. There we go. Come on. I was being stubborn. There we go. Beautiful, just like that. And 1 and 2. Toss that there. I was concerned for a moment. I thought it wasn't going to work. Is there something in here? No, that's the hammer. Okay. There we go. Pulled another magical one out of this grass there. I will admit it is fairly easy to lose stuff in the grass. Like, I think I might have another spike somewhere, no? Okay, well, we're gonna drag this guy. Can I please drag you? I want to keep my empty barrels together, which you're like, and some people are gonna be like, why? It's completely pointless. And I'm like, yes. Exactly. Wait a second. No, okay, we're good. Can I get you up and over the track? Thank you. Come on. There we go. Up and over. Just like that. There we go. At least they're somewhat together, right? I'm out of spikes. I need 2 more. There we go. There's another section of track. All done. Excuse me. So, some of these, actually none of these are in the right place. That's annoying. I was hoping at least one of them would be in the right spot. Okay, try kicking this into place. There we go. Exactly where I wanted it. I wish you could pick things up in the middle. I think if you pick things up too far in the middle, there's like it thinks that we want to rotate them. I think that's the way it's set up, which isn't bad per se. It's just sometimes picking them up in the middle would be easier. There we go. Oh crap, we're almost done. Now I am going to say it again, this game is still just the demo. It's not even early access. It is the demo. But the dev is doing a really good job at keeping up on things, and I'm glad to see that. I really am. And the game is amazing. It's cozy. It's so cozy. It's amazing. I don't know, this really has filled an itch that I've had for a few months, honestly. I've been craving a game like this for months. And I don't want to rush the dev to release the full version, but boy, when he does, y'all are going to see me a lot. You're going to be hearing a lot of my voice for a while. There we go. 1, 2. No, we used the barrel we started. I'm a little OCD. 1 barrel at a time. We're just gonna drag this one to right there. There we go. One thing I am going to ask from y'all, if you're watching this within the next, few weeks, please fill my comments, or, well, really go to the Discord page for this dev and give him suggestions. If you don't want to do that, just fill my comments with suggestions. I will relay at least the decent ones to him. If you're going to be a douche, I'm not going to relay that to the dev. He's got better things to do. But if it's a good comment and a good suggestion, I will absolutely say, hey, you know, one of my commenters said this, or said this. And one of my commenters said A, and I really think it would be good to do A, but maybe also try doing more on top of it. I think it would be really awesome to get as much feedback as possible. Will the dev incorporate it? Not necessarily. But it will be cool to see. Now, is this thing... Yoink. Oh, no, I don't want to... Now, that went off the side of the cliff. Okay, glad it went back over here. Because I am a loot goblin, and I'm going to stash everything together. Ta-da! We're actually making some pretty quick work of this, which is really nice. Oops. There's one. There we go. Nope. Come on. Give me that. Dang it. I did not want to spill the nail bucket. And it's not really easy to stand these things back up. So we're just going to drag this guy over here and banish it to the pile of barrels of... Also, there's this weird artifacting around the barrel that looks cool. I don't know if it's artifacting is the right word. Oh, it's around me. Is that because I burned myself accidentally, like, 2 minutes in? And the nails are getting in the way. Lovely. Okay, we're gonna have to pick up all these bloody things. There we go. Oh, perfect. Oops, come on. Beautiful. Perfect placement, if you ask me. It is nice they give us some extra rail ties. I think there's only one segment left. So I'm going to use the rail ties up here and the ones here, but there's ones tucked back over here. Or not rail ties, but the rail tracks. And then there's the tree that I used. I made the ties out of the tree, which gave me, I think, 6. Second, I'm gonna run up here quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. 1 second. we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a tree, which isn't bad. I'd say that's pretty good. Let's drag this all the way over here. Excuse me. I gotta kick it this way a little bit. Really? Is it too far this way, maybe? These are picky sometimes, aren't they? There we go. Look at that. Only had to bounce it around like 1,000 times. It would be cool to see if we could do something with more of the scenery. Right? Like, I know for now we have enough ballast. And I don't want them to incorporate, like, survival. You need to feed yourself stuff. So you have to, like, go to the wheat fields. But it would be cool if it gave you, I don't know, maybe a perk? A little bit of extra movement speed, maybe? I don't know. Really? Wait a second. If I drop this rail spike right there, and if I go right here... No, I didn't do it right. No, I didn't do it right again. I think I picked up a rail spike while placing a rail spike, and I'm trying to see if I can replicate this. Sorry. Yeah, it's not quite close enough. That's pretty close. Yep. That is amazing. That is actually really cool. I'm glad I caught that. Actually, give me a second. I need to write this down, that this happened. I'm giving him just a rough timestamp there to watch that, because I think he'll find that pretty cool. I don't know if he intended to do that. I haven't seen a comment on it, so I'm going to go with that was unintended. Also, I love how the bird just keeps landing on my tools, and I keep chasing the poor thing away. Yep. There we go. Here's the last section of track. We're going to go use these rail ties. I know they're far away, but... Can I fall off? The answer to that would be yes. Yes, I can. There's birds down here by my axe. Let's try this again, shall we? There we go. And somebody might be saying, why are you going all the way over there for these? And it's just because I put the effort into harvesting them, I want to use them. Simple as that. I feel like there was a reason there was that barrier at the end. Also, can we talk about this just a little bit? Like, the world ends here, but does the ground actually go out to there? Nope. Well, that marks time number 2 down the side of, I don't know what. Are we on a mountain? Are we on a floating island? Are we in a fictional reality? Honestly, at this point, I can't tell anymore. God, this game is relaxing as hell. It's awesome. I love it. You know, usually I would be, like, wide awake, ready to go, like, to the gym or to the archery range. Yes. I shoot archery. Not guns. The joy of being in, well, Canada. You can't really shoot guns. Well, I mean, you can, but it's a hassle. And it's more expensive. It's a lot more expensive, actually, to shoot guns than it is to shoot archery. Also, I do archery just because it's a good workout, actually. It's a good... Why am I grabbing rail spikes for this? Jesus Christ. Sorry. Yeah, I need to get ballast, and then I need to get rail ties. Not rail ties, rail. And then I can get the rail spikes. As I was saying, I shoot archery. Just, it's fun. It helps me blow off some steam. Gets me outside, too. And it's good exercise. Especially because I shoot a compound that has a draw weight of, I'm pretty sure, 83 pounds. Which isn't, it's a decent amount. It's not a whole lot. Teacher at my old school who, I wouldn't say coached an archery team. We didn't really have an archery team. But he was more or less in charge of just the archery. Like, it wasn't even a range. It was a field where he set up a target, and we went and did some shooting maybe once every few weeks. Anyway, one of the bows he brought had a draw weight of like 130 or 140. And I'm not talking a crossbow, I'm talking a compound bow. And that was hard to pull. I got maybe one pull and one shot off before my arm was just a noodle of... Pretty much said, no, not again, please. So, we're going to drop that there. It would be interesting to see if there was some way to incorporate... Sorry. If there was some way to incorporate, like, a currency system. I'm just thinking. Like, obviously the focus of the game... Sorry, I'm completely tangenting to a different topic. I'm back to the game here. If there was a way to incorporate a currency system, you know... Like, maybe there's a chance that rocks drop valuable stuff. I don't know if it's going to be procedurally generated either. Can I please? I'd like to get this last one in. But like, I had it. There we go. Okay, so like if you could break these rocks over here, they drop like gems or gold nuggets or something. Or more simply, you could just go and harvest these wheat fields. Now, granted, you know, you've got to deal with the ethical, well, why would you be harvesting wheat fields while you're trying to build a railroad, yada, yada, yada. And the answer is, I don't know. It's just an idea. Well, you could use this currency for getting coal for your engine, or, you know, buying new rail cars or rolling stock for your train. right? You might only start with, like, you start with a hand car, obviously. But after your hand car, you end up with a steam engine of some sort. And I don't know if you can get multiple steam engines and they get progressively bigger, or if you just get one steam engine and you're in the steam era and that's it. You're done. But anyway, back to what I was saying is maybe with a currency system, you could get more rolling stock, so you could haul maybe 2 cars of rail ties or 2 cars of rails instead of just 1. I don't know. These are just ideas that pop into my head while I'm sitting here playing. Okay, folks. Actually, I'm going to leave that. Yep. I missed it twice. There you go. I'm going to leave that one whack left. I want to see if the stones can be broken. Because I was curious. Because I'm like, how are you going to end up creating your own ballast? And it doesn't look like it. There we go. And we got the achievement for completing all rail segments in the demo. So we ended up with 2 extra segments of track. Yeah, and like 3 barrels of nails. Whee! I will admit, I love how the dev got the sound of that train. The duck, 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 duck. It's perfect. It is so perfect. Did I see the nail here? I saw a shiny. I found it. 1 second. I'll be back. I'll be back for that in a second. I gotta run over here. Everything in its place. I'm sorry. Anyway, back to getting this thing put back on the track here. Oh, there we go. We're back on. Yeah. No, but this is... This is perfect. This is amazing. I love this. Here, 1 second here. We go here to settings, and we go for music. Sorry, just turn that all the way down. The way those tuk-tuk, 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 tuk-tuk sound is amazing. The dev did an amazing job on that. So, I mean, he's done an amazing job in general, but that, I didn't realize it was that good. And it does happen where it's supposed to, which is splendid. So, one thing, don't know what to do about the tree here, dev. Sorry, if you're supposed to be able to break it apart, and I'm just clueless as all hell, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be. The branches do burn, I can confirm that. I don't know if that was me last time or something with my game. But most importantly, you can actually build all the segments of the track, and you don't get stuck after like the 3rd one, which is amazing to see. I don't know if Nemo's still here or who's still here, but is there anything you want me to try and experiment with before we call it a night here? I'm just gonna wait a minute here for that to get answered, if it does. While you try and come up with stuff, I'm gonna see if I can throw my axe at a barrel. Or the ground, one or the other. Okay, it bounced off that barrel, but I was aiming for the upright one here. I went over again, darn it. Okay, let's step to here maybe. Oh, that was way too early of a release. And the throwing isn't really that great. I do like it, but I wish there was a way to be more accurate with yeah, it's super unpredictable, I'd say, the throwing. I missed the darn barrel. Darn it. Oh well. I was trying to whack it into the stump. Let's try that one more time. Close enough, guys. I'd say that's close enough. And I guess there's nothing that I want to do. Nobody wants to see tried. So, I think that's where we're going to wrap this up, folks. I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all have a great week. And I look forward to seeing you. We're still going to say tomorrow, but in about 12 hours when Lex and I stream. Anyway, till then, peace out and bye.